In our last tutorial, we started collecting information from the user so we can develop our program. So let's continue that. So far, we've declared a variable, collected some text from the user interface, converted that to an integer and saved that in iDiceSize, and then we outputted the contents of that integer by converting it to a string and outputting that to a text box. Now you must remember that text box require text and that's strings, and therefore we can't use an integer number that we can perform mathematical operations on and output that to a text box. We need to convert the integer or real number into a string, so it's characters, and then output those character text to the text box. We also need to collect the number of roles from the user interface as well. So to do that, we're going to once again determine in memory I number of roles as an integer, and we want to collect that from the interface. It's going to be equal to txt number of roles, and once again we need to change the text to an integer, and we want the text part of the text box, and we need to convert that to an integer as well, so it stores an I number of roles. What we also might do is actually output that as well, so txt output.text, and this time we're going to use a plus equals I number of roles dot toString bracket. What the plus equal means is to add or append this to the text box. So we should get the txt output for the number, the size of the dice roll, and then we should get the number of rolls afterwards. So let's hit start, and I'm going to put in 6, and then I'm going to append 10 onto that and click on roll dice. So you can actually see the 6 and the 10. So what was in the variables are being outputted. Now one of the things we want to be able to do is improve the user experience. So when the program starts, you can actually see that these two text boxes are empty. And what I'd like to do is default them with some basic information for the user. To do that, we're going to go back to the form and we're going to double click the form. Now when we double click the form, you see private sub form 1 load. So when that form starts, is loaded, it's going to run this bit of code. And what we'd like to do is actually take txt dicesize.text, and we want that to be equal to 6. So when the program starts now, when I run it, you can see that a 6 appears in this text box. If I put 11 in here and click roll dice, you can see the 6 automatically goes in. For the number of rolls, I'd like to default that as 10. So once again, txt number of rolls dot text is equal to 10. Run the program, and you can see that there's some basic information, and I can go roll dice, and you can see the output there. This also helps when I'm debugging and running the program. I don't have to stop and type into these text boxes all the time. The most important thing is to remember that the loader, or the onload one, actions before the buttons are clicked. So it's a really good way of initializing your program. So I hope you found this tutorial a little helpful. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel. In the next tutorial, we'll be looking at generating some random numbers. So have a look around my YouTube channel for other useful Visual Basic tutorials, and I'll see you in the next one.